Hi, Wandering Woman here. Today we're going to take a look at the holy grail of award flights, international business class, and we're going to try it on a couple different airlines. Recognize that these awards are pretty limited and that the further out you look, the better off you will be. But it may take some searching to come up with something that works for you. So first, we're going to try on United. Be sure that you're signed in to your account because on United you can get better flights sometimes with elite status or with a United credit card, which I recommend. On the flight search, I always search for one way. It makes it much easier to take a look at the different options rather than getting confused by the round trip. Of course, click Book with Miles. We've already filled out, in this instance, we're going to look at going from Houston to Rome, and we're looking at relatively limited date availability. We want to fly on Friday, May 26th, preferably. I usually look at one adult so I can see if even one ticket is available on a flight, and then of course select business class, and then just click on Find Flights. So as you can see on the date we selected, Friday the 26th, the best we can do is 155,000 miles and $5.60. We're going to sort by the best price in business just to see what that flight looks like. So that is a flight with 2 stops and a total time of about 15 hours. There's also another option also with 2 stops. And you can get down to 1 stop for 175,000 miles, but you have to change airports. And then for 1 stop with a reasonable change time, 245,000 miles. That's expensive. Now, if you want to fly over that weekend, it doesn't look like you have many options when it comes to United. So we're going to try and go over to American and see what we can get there. United tends to be the best search engine for Star Alliance flights. American has the best search engine for One World flights. We are going to again go from Houston to Rome. And when it gives you this kind of option, choose the Rome, Italy. That means if another airport might be available, it will show you those results as well. On American, you do not need to log in. Just click on Redeem Miles. And again, we're going to try for May 26th, which is quite a ways out, since this is currently September. And we will do our search. Now you notice we did not have a place to pick business class there. So these results are in economy, but if you click on calendar and where it says show all classes, click on business. And you can see flights available from 57.5 and what days they're available. So if we're willing to fly on Sunday instead of Friday, click that and click Apply Changes. And on American, just click this arrow for business and it will reorder it. So we can fly with just 1 stop in Heathrow for 57,500 miles, but be careful to also look at the additional taxes and fees. That is correct, $747.90 in fees. Flights going through Heathrow, several airlines will charge UK taxes, which are extremely high. Still, $747 plus 57,000 miles versus 150 or 250,000 miles may be worthwhile. But that is the only flight that offers that kind of level. So that's definitely a possibility. And you can click on details here and see things like you do have a 7-hour connection time in London. So you have to think about, is time more important to you or the points? And it is 787. And then from Heathrow to Rome, you're on an Airbus 319. And it's a 2.5-hour trip. So now let's try KLM. KLM and Air France have their awards program together called Flying Blue, but you still have to search each airline independently. And Flying Blue points can be transferred from Chase Ultimate Rewards, as well as membership rewards of Amex. So again, we're going to do the same search on the KLM site. You do have to log in here to a Flying Blue account, although you don't have to have the points available to search. Whew. So in this case, they want 680,000 miles to fly from Houston to Rome. That's more than a little steep. So the best you can do around that is if you can fly on Wednesday, 141,000 miles and $218. So I would probably pass on that, since I think we have a better flight on American, even though it does have a high level of fees. Now let's try the Air France site and see if we have any luck there. Even though Air France and KLM are both part of the Flying Blue program, I have found that the two websites can and often do give different results. So on Air France, does not look good to start. Let's sort by lowest price. We can travel with one connection for 229,000 miles. That's still an awful lot. And on Air France, it does not give you the amounts for the different days. So you have to search a little bit to see if you can do any better. Let's see if we could leave on Wednesday. And that is somewhat better, 150,000 miles and $200 for one connection. So it would be really your judgment whether you want to pay 50,000 miles and about $800, or 150,000 miles and $200. Generally, miles are worth at least a penny a piece. Using that basis, the American flight for 57,000 miles and $750 in round numbers with just one stop would be considered the best. There's also 2 seats on this flight, which is very good. And I also recommend, when you find something that you think works for you, go ahead and grab it. You can cancel these flights, especially at least a month out, with no penalties. They'll return taxes that you paid, and they will return the miles to your account as well. So that's an example of an international business class award search. You can see it takes a little doing to find things that work. You can certainly search any airline that you have points on, so you can go further than this. But this gives you good insight, especially if you have very specific time constraints on when you want to travel. Naturally, you'd also search for the return flight in the same manner and then put things together. Again, this is Wandering Woman with Travel Award Search. We hope you enjoyed the video. We'd love to hear your questions or comments, and for you to subscribe to our channel. In the meantime, travel wisely, travel well. Thank you.